All right, what's up, everybody? Mike Lindsley back with you. It's 9 Minutes with me, IGTV, Facebook, and on YouTube. Make sure you get on down here to Rosie's Corner where I am for a Fish Friday. It's a themed food day. Fish sandwich with the dinner. You get it with the mac and cheese or the fries and coleslaw. They also have the pizza wing combos for Syracuse game day. You get a 2-liter of orange soda for free on that. And, of course, you can get pasta, hot and cold subs, you name it. And, of course, as we turn the calendar into the summer season, be on the lookout for other changes in the meals and all that in terms of the themed food. The Turkey Slop Tuesday, the Wednesday Chicken and Biscuits, you name it, they have it here at Rosie's. Get on down here, a proud sponsor of the ML Sports Platter. To use the words of Peter Griffin, this really grinds my gears. People coming out and saying when the Yankees signed Garrett Cole, when big market teams sign big names, that Major League Baseball is a complete cluster F, that they are ruining the sport, that the big markets are signing too many people at too much money, to which I say, baloney. They're not ruining the game. Parity is still extremely strong, and I always take it to the king, which is the NFL. First of all, the last 20 years of the National Football League, what have we had? We've had anything but parity. Sure, we can use the old slogan of any given Sunday. We can use the old slogan of, hey, anybody can beat anybody on any given day. We can use the old Miami Dolphins beat the New England Patriots on the last week of the season. The reality of the situation is that doesn't mean that we have different playoff teams coming in every single year. We don't. The NFL has literally sent the Patriots to the playoffs every single year. They win the division every single year. And if not for a couple of down years here and there, we always have the Steelers. We always have the Ravens. We always have the Colts. We always have the Chiefs. We had the Broncos for a long time standing. We always have either the Eagles or the Cowboys if the Giants are down. The Giants were up for a little bit, won a couple Super Bowls. Now they're way back down. Now we have the Eagles basically every single season. We have the Green Bay Packers pretty much every single season. We have the Vikings here and there as a wild card team. If we don't have a surprise team like the Cardinals going to the Super Bowl or the Panthers going to the Super Bowl, we have usually another team every single year. The New Orleans Saints are always in the playoffs. You have the Seattle Seahawks. They're always in the playoffs. My point is, during the Patriots dynasty for about 20 years now, Major League Baseball has not had a repeat winner since 2000. Since that time, think about the World Series winners. Yankees, Diamondbacks, Angels, Marlins, Red Sox 4 times, Cardinals multiple times. Hell, the Kansas City Royals even won a World Series during this time, and other teams won pennants and came out of nowhere. That's what I call parity. Colorado Rockies, Cleveland Indians, the Chicago Cubs finally broke the curse of 108 years of losing. What happened in the NFL during this 20 years? Well, the New England Patriots were the king of the league. They went to the Super Bowl 9 times, and of course won it 6 times. They could have even won a couple more. I do realize a play here, play there. They could have lost a couple as well. That's not the point. The point is that you always look at parity and you look at dynasties based on the top team in your league, the one that's running the league, the one that everybody's chasing, the bullseye on the back, the Warriors of the NBA, the Patriots in the NFL, the Yankees of the 1990s in Major League Baseball. The reality of the situation is the NFL has been anything but parity-filled. It's ridiculous for me to hear people talk about the Yankees, the Red Sox, the Dodgers ruining Major League Baseball when they sign a huge name. And oh, by the way, we're coming on the heels of the Minnesota Twins, a quote-unquote small market, signing Josh Donaldson, and they had one of the best off seasons last year as well. The Minnesota Twins will compete; they'll be fine. How about the Cleveland Indians trading their ace of the staff in Corey Kluber to the Texas Rangers? I don't see the Yankees getting them. Sure, they signed Garrett Cole, I get it, but the Yankees aren't getting everybody. They went out and signed Garrett Cole. Their roster is already pretty good. It's filled with a ton of minor leaguers. It's filled with youngsters they've gotten in trades like Gleyber Torres. This is not a typical George Steinbrenner go sign everybody on earth between a 4 and 8 year period while you're already winning or you're contending. Much like going out and getting Gary Sheffield and Jason Giambi and Hideki Matsui and all these players and free agents, Mike Messina, in a period of 6, 8, 10 years after the Yankees won the World Series in 2001. Also, there's a lot of people who say that the system is broken. Major League Baseball, the system is completely and utterly shattered, to which I say, what are you talking about? Major League Baseball basically has a salary cap that is indirect. Now, some people might go out there and say, oh, whatever, baseball's not interesting until somebody takes steroids or somebody's cheating with electronic machines, to which I say, baloney on that. If you love baseball, you love baseball. If you don't like it, at least while you're ready to hammer it, at least study the game and understand and be educated before you go ahead and attack it and have some personal opinions. The system, it's not broken, and I'm going to tell you why. the league has an indirect salary cap. You know what that's called? It's called revenue sharing. Okay, it is called revenue sharing and the luxury tax. And what happens is if you spend over a certain amount, the Dodgers, the Yankees, the Red Sox, you have to put your money into a pool, and then that money has gone for years and years and years to clubs like Toronto, Kansas City, Minnesota, Arizona, Pittsburgh Pirates, you name it. And if they don't do anything with it, that is on them. Bottom line. I'm going to give you another example. Carl Pohlad was the billionaire owner of the Minnesota Twins, and at the time of his death, he was actually worth more than George Steinbrenner. Go look it up. He was worth more. Why didn't the Minnesota Twins compete? Because Carl Pohlad, as opposed to George Steinbrenner, put money back into his pocket, not into the team. That's a no-no, in my opinion. You can't blame the Yankees and you can't blame big market stuff for anything in terms of Major League Baseball. They are playing within the rules, and signing somebody is only going to do basically three things. One, it's going to create interest in Major League Baseball. Number two, it's going to also take money and put it to the other teams, because most of the time that contract is going to send the team completely over the luxury tax. And number three, it actually might level some things out. You might even think, like, what are you talking about? How could the Yankees signing somebody to a 9-year, $324 million deal, signing the best pitcher in baseball, arguably, level things out? Well, if you paid attention the last few years, the Houston Astros, with their cheating video and all the rest, plus they had Garrett Cole. You talk about going out and getting Garrett Cole, that steals share from the number one team in the American League. It steals share from a team that's made it to the World Series 2 of the last 3 years, cheating or not. So now you've leveled out the American League even a little bit more. You take something away from the Astros, now the Angels have more of a shot. Now the Rangers have more of a shot. Now the Yankees have more of a shot to make the World Series. This whole thing is blasphemous when people start blaming these big market teams when they sign a big time a player in terms of ruining the game, which then causes there to be no parity. The argument is just not correct. The parity in the league is fine. And I heard from somebody the other day on social media constantly about how, well, no, there's only 5 teams that have a chance to win the World Series. Really? Well, then why are there 17 to 22 teams available in mid to late August who have a chance at going to the playoffs, and half of those teams have a chance to win the World Series? You know what happened when we went into the playoffs last year? You couldn't freaking figure it out. The Braves could have won it. The Braves had an unbelievable team led by the starting pitching. They had a terrific lineup. They obviously had Josh Donaldson, and you had a bunch of other players. Freddie Freeman, they had Austin Riley, a bunch of players coming up. The kid, Ronald Acuna, is absolutely amazing. You got to love Albies as well. A lot of people picked the Braves to win the World Series. Buster Olney picked the Atlanta Braves. He didn't pick the New York Yankees to win the World Series. The Braves had a shot. The Phillies spent a ton of money with Bryce Harper. A lot of people thought they had a shot. The Dodgers obviously had a shot to get back to the World Series for a third straight time. The Cubs were contenders. The Cardinals were contenders. The Brewers were contenders before Christian Yelich went down. Then in the American League, the Red Sox went in as defending champs. The Yankees had a shot. The Astros had a shot. The Indians with the pitching had a shot. The Minnesota Twins had a great offseason. They also had a little bit of a shot as well. And then the A's and Rays were also teams that were absolute threats in the postseason. So the fact that people are saying that there's only 5 teams every single year that have a chance to win the World Series, give me a break. Since 2000, we have not had a repeat champion in Major League Baseball. Meanwhile, before this year, the Patriots went to 3 straight Super Bowls and, of course, won 2 of them. They've won 6 since that time and 9 Super Bowl appearances overall. And we're always seeing the same exact teams in the playoffs year in and year out. So the parity thing, when you compare MLB to NFL, it is just not going to work for me. Get on down here to Rosie's Corner. Today is Fish Friday, themed food days, Meatloaf Monday, Turkey Slop Tuesday, Chicken and Biscuit Wednesday, Fish Friday, and more. And, of course, the great pizza and wing specials left and right. You got to get down here. A proud sponsor of the ML Sports Platter. Make sure you follow them on Instagram and like them on Facebook so you can check out all the delicious food pictures as well. As I always tell you, enjoy the games.